Hello all, welcome to the second video of my brass train review series. What you see today is a Pennsylvania Railroad K-5 number 5699. This particular one was built by the Baldwin Locomotive Works. Two of these K-5 class locomotives were built, both in 1929. They were rebuilt in 1937, as you see here. Originally, 5699 was built with a Capriotti valve gear, which is an extremely unique and experimental valve gear that really was not applied to many locomotives. As you see it here, it has a Walschaerts valve gear. These locomotives, the K-5 class, were not successful enough to go on to be put into high production like the K-4s. The two locomotives, however, did last quite a while into steam. I believe into the 50s, in fact. The 5699 had a slightly longer smoke box, as you can see modeled here. Something to note that before I move on to the rest of my video, this engine was imported by Key Model Imports in 1993. It was built by ULIM, which was not Key's primary builder. Their primary builder was Sam Hongsa. For whatever reason on this engine, they went to ULIM, though. ULIM did a masterful job on this model. This locomotive had a slightly different style than many other Pennsylvania Railroad K-class locomotives. If you notice right here, you have the bell under the number plate and under the walk for a service member to service the engine. The headlight is mounted high, as this engine was rebuilt in the early 40s again, as many K-class locomotives were rebuilt. In real life, this was a drop pilot. Unfortunately, even though this is a brass model, this coupler does not drop. However, I do not find that the biggest issue. Another cool thing is the automatic train control box seen right here. Early experimental ways to control trains. It did work in many aspects. In fact, the New Haven Railroad was a big adopter of it. All the sand lines on this locomotive are expertly separately applied, and you can see the spacing under all of them. All the wheels are spoke drivers. All the lines, other separate lines, steam lines and such, all are also separately applied, as they should be. These brass models are all hand-built, hand-painted, and that's why they normally go up in value and are worth so much, and so many people want to buy them. As this was a 90s piece of brass, the detail, though substantial, there are a couple small things, particularly that the headlights do not operate, or the rear light does not operate. The forward-facing headlight does operate, and there aren't marker jewels installed on this model, which is fine. That's normally something somebody else would install. However, normally I try to light mine, as can be seen in possibly one of my other videos. I don't know if I've actually ever uploaded a video with some of my fully detailed and DCC'd brass engines. The fireman's side of the locomotive features a compressor right here. Most locomotives had compressors on the fireman's side or on the pilot deck. You can also see many interesting lines here, like this one in particular. To be honest, I have no idea what this is, but it's very interesting, as most steam locomotives don't have a line like that. It actually comes out the other side too, so it must be something important. The box on the top, I believe, is a type of feed water heater, possibly. Truly not sure. Unfortunately, if anybody knows exactly what this is right here, I'd love to know. I wish I knew a little more, but I'm trying. The back of the cab is masterfully detailed with a drop plate and many nice touches in the cab, including a throttle handle, gauges, and many other appliances. One little cool thing is the Pennsylvania Railroad number of the locomotive right above the cab. I'm trying to get the camera to focus, but it doesn't seem to want to play. It does say $56.99, although I believe it's in Futura lettering, which is kind of interesting because the rest of the locomotive is not. Finally, I'm going to run Pennsylvania Railroad 5699 and see how it operates. This model has been in a box for 20 years. I bought it about a couple weeks ago, and it's a model that has never run, so let's see how it runs. It's very quiet for being an engine that's been in the box for so long. However, I find this with most brass locomotives, that even if they've been in a box for an extended period of time, they're very quiet. I just gotta make sure it also doesn't fall off the table. As a final note on this locomotive, I'd like to just point out that with all brass engines, they're hand-built, so not every one is alike. Most of these models, the Pennsylvania Railroad K-5s, go on eBay for around $600 to $700. I picked this one up in the $400 range. What's very interesting to me about brass at the moment is that prices are being stagnant, but prices of plastic models and many other models, such as the Broadway Limited Milwaukee Road S3, they're hovering in the price, at least at MSRP, of many brass models. Many brass equivalents, in fact, of the Milwaukee S3. I find that very interesting. Anyway, this locomotive, I definitely would say it's probably an 8 out of 10 stars. I'm going to just say, I'm going to take off a star for the weird Futura lettering above the cab. At least that's what it looks like on this camera. And I'm also going to just take one off for the for it not being built by Sam Hongsa. It should have been built by Sam Hongsa. Sam Hongsa was known for their ultra high quality and their coasting drives. Now that's nothing I can change, so truly I give it a 9 out of 10. But I really think this is a masterfully done locomotive. The paint is perfect, the decaling is perfect, and the Brunswick green, actually rather dark green locomotive enamel, is perfect. It almost looks black. It's not too green, but you can see there's a hint of green in there. Anyway, again, another model that maybe one of you might like to invest in. Check out eBay and check out BrassTrains.com. These models do come up quite often and are definitely worth your time and effort. See you guys on the next video.